Oh, come on now, Clyde. Really? No, no, no. I didn't make this up. This is a real hand that my partner held one day when we played. So it's pretty much between six spades and seven spades with this hand. That's in as far as where we're going to end up. So in order to seven spades will have a play opposite almost anything unless partner has like 11 cards in the minors. The worst thing he can show up with is basically three hearts and no queen. It would also then you're on a 2-2 split. So that's still 40%, so that's not terrible. If you have the jack, it goes up about 13%. So that's not terrible, but it's probably not really a slam you'd want to bid. And also, he could have like a doubleton heart and no high spade or not very many spades, and so you'd have a problem roughing the suit out. And you'd also need them to split 3-2, which is 68%. So, but that's what you need for seven. Basically, if you catch partner with the doubleton heart, seven's a good bet. As far as six, I mean, six hearts, the only thing that's going to beat it is one of the opponents basically having four or more hearts and your partner not having the queen and not having enough trumps or high enough trumps to do anything as far as helping you rough the hearts out. So that's pretty rare. Here was the hand I actually held. And so you can see it was just on a 3-2 heart split and a 2-1 spade split. Or you could have the long four. Both suits, hearts could have been 4-1 as long as the last heart was the long hearts were in the same hand as the long spades. And my partner, to give him credit, actually played it safely to test for that. So that probably you're in the low 70s, probably somewhere on that slam. And it was a good day. It was friendly cards. The problem was we weren't in it. We were only in six spades. And the reason was the way our auction went in the following way. My partner chose to open the hand two clubs, which is reasonable. And I bid two hearts. And our agreement is that two hearts shows basically a bad hand, no aces or kings. And what he should have done here was bid two spades. Two spades will be forcing, so I can't pass it. And with the hand that I had, I mean, I will bid four spades. When I could have just bid three, but my hand's good enough to bid four because I want to make sure we reach a game. And now I think he can just bid seven spades. I mean, if you think about the fact that I'm projected to be shorter in hearts than any other suit, and that I don't have any aces or kings, so I have a good chance of having a couple of queens. I think that the chance that I don't have a third round winner in hearts is really low. And I mean, it's 40% even if I don't, right? So I mean, it's not like it's a disaster. So I think that would be a pretty easy way to get there at that point. But he didn't do that. Over my two heart bid, he chose to do something else. He just signed off in six spades. And I'm like, wow, I mean, I have a maximum here. Maybe I should bid seven with these two queens and a jack that I don't have to have. I didn't really think that. But anyway, I don't know why he did that, but he later explained it to me, and I have to give him credit for being creative. He explained that he thought that since we were red and they were white, when I bid two hearts saying that I didn't have anything, that meant that they would have a good save over our slam. Now, I don't know really on what planet people who aren't bidding otherwise take 7-level saves, especially in a 2-club, 2-heart auction. I mean, do you really jump into those auctions usually? I mean, it's like 2 clubs. Oh, okay, I'm not bidding. 2 hearts. He doesn't have anything. So they may not have anywhere to go. Well, now I think I want to jump in here. Maybe I could give them the chance to double me. Obviously not with the hand that he has, but yeah. So I don't... He was certainly thinking of something there, but I don't know that it was really the most logical thing to be concerned with. So, and besides, if we bid the hand, if we try to be scientific, I mean, isn't there a good chance we could bid 7 spades over 7 of a minor if we had to? Now, we played this hand at the beginning of the day, and so when we were playing in a club that uses Traveler, so we got the Traveler, it hadn't been played. And I thought at the time that our result probably wouldn't be very good. I mean, I didn't think it would be like bad, but I mean, surely below average, because I mean, it's either 6 or 7, and we're in 6. So I mean, this doesn't take a genius. But when I got the printout at the end of the day, I noticed that of the 10 times the board was played, half the people, 5 people who played the board, decided to play in 6 spades. Okay, that's about what I expected. And the other half, they if you're not sitting down already, you need to sit down for this one. You need to take a seat. Okay. I'm going to try to get through this, okay? Half the people who played the board bid 6 spades. And the other half, they didn't bid slam. It's been a while since we played that hand, but still a little tough to revisit this reality. If I had just taught someone to play bridge, like I just explained to you how to play bridge. I explained how the scoring works so that you knew that, you know, slams matter if you bid them, it matters if you bid them. I explained how tricks are taken and how suits work and all that. And you pick this hand up, and at the end of the auction, you're not in either 6 or 7 spades. Then I'd be like, okay, all right, I obviously didn't explain bridge to you. You didn't understand what bridge was. Let's go back and see what it is that we missed. All right, I mean, this is pretty easy stuff here. I mean, are we that afraid that... I mean, even if one of your opponents has 4 hearts, it's not doomed at all. Your partner could have the queen, or he could be able to help you rough it out. I mean, look, I'm not naive enough to think it's going to make all the time, but Wow. Wow, like less than six spades, four or five. I would never have found that. Luckily for us, we played this board at the beginning of the day. And I say that because when I looked at the Traveler, there was no scores. Because had I seen that, I earlier, I would have been like sitting there the rest of the game like this. As it was, since I didn't get the sheet until the end, I was like that when I got home. After a few hours, my wife's like, Clyde, you need to pull it back a little. You're scaring the baby. And I said, I probably so, but imagine how scared she would be if she understood what had happened. Now, my partner, my most regular partner, I gave him the hand, and he had a very creative way to handle it, actually. I mean, all you really care about on this hand is your part. You can get by basically just concerning yourself with the heart situation. So his idea is open the hand one heart. Now, this is a creative one heart opener, but open one heart. You're going to immediately solve the heart situation. If partner raises hearts and he shows some sort of four-card heart raises, most pairs have various ways of showing four-card heart raises. If you show some kind of four-card heart raise, then you know that the hearts are pretty much set to run, queen or no queen. So you can just bid seven of either major. If you open one heart and your partner instead fails to raise hearts, this is very good news. That means he's got two or fewer. And you can just blast out seven spades. It doesn't have to work, but I think it's a good bet. I mean, maybe he won't have any high spades or very many spades. He'll have just a bunch of minors. But I think it's worth trying. And if he simply makes a single heart raise, then you can just RKC hearts immediately and ask for the queen. You don't really care, obviously, about the other key cards. You can ask for the queen, and if he shows it, you can bid seven. If he doesn't, sign off in six. So that's a pretty good idea on how to bid the hand. I thought opening one heart was a good idea. If something that deep doesn't occur to you at the time, then you would be basically stuck between one spade and two clubs. And I always felt like I didn't know what to do with those, but I gave this some thought, and I came to the determination that an incredibly distributional single suitor is probably better opened one of a suit. Now, I wanted to explain why. The fear with a two-suited hand is that you always hear the mantra, don't open a two-suited hand, two clubs. The fear is with so much of your playing strength based on shape, the opponents will also have the potential to have some playing strength, and they're willing to jump into the auction, and then you won't have a chance to get both of your suits in, or at least you may not. Whereas if you can get your first suit in, then they bid, you get your second suit in. I think the same notion may apply for a really strong, really distributional single suitor. And that's basically what you have, because let's face it, you have one suit in which you're willing to play on this hand. Here you also have two things to get in. One is that you want to be in a force, and the other is that you want spades to be trump. And I think that the easiest thing to get in first will actually be that you want spades to be trump. So if you start with one spade, and the hand is not passing out ever, okay, start with one spade, and then no matter what happens, you can always set the force later. You can always create the force later. Whereas if you start with two clubs, start with the force instead, you really can't get the spades out later. Not really, because let's say that it goes, because the extent of the force may be missed. Let's say that it goes two clubs, two diamonds, or sorry, two clubs, and say maybe they did two diamonds, three diamonds, something like that. You do anything. This hand bids like four diamonds. What do I bid? Four spades? Four spades isn't enough. I want to go beyond just four spades. I could bid six spades, but when we're just guessing. And on a different hand, I might not be willing to shoot six out all by myself. But look how much easier it works how much better it works if I start with a spade. One spade, anything, anything, anything. And if I do something like cubid their suit, or I'm sorry, say you just pass, you get kind of blasted out here. Like one spade, three diamonds, pass, four diamonds, something like that. If I cubid like five diamonds, then it has to be four spades, right? Or maybe I bid four no trump. Though a rare situation, that really has to be RKC for spades. So you really have more options by doing it that way. It works out a little bit better. So on this hand, say that it did go that way. One spade, three diamonds, pass, four diamonds. Though very rare, four no trump by me would be RKC for spades. There's just really nothing else it can be. And you would respond whatever you respond. And it's only going to help if in our system I have a third round control ask available. So for example, four no trump, five diamonds, say, or I guess depending on what kind of key card you play, that hand would make its response, and then like six hearts is played as by key carder, is played as a third round control ask, like bid seven spades if you have a third round winner in hearts, so the queen or a doubleton and a couple trumps. It's part of standard key card, though it's not something everybody's necessarily familiar with, so it's probably a good thing to talk about with your partner if you haven't already. And so yeah, I mean that it's an odd situation, but I think it works out pretty well. Another way, if you modified the original hand and made it like the queen of hearts instead of the king, now it works. Now you could have an auction like the following: one spade, three diamonds, pass, five diamonds. Let's say it goes that way. And I could bid six diamonds. Six diamonds says basically I'm bidding six spades all by myself. Can you do anything for me? And why does it say I'm bidding six spades? Because I opened one spade. Can't be anything else. It can't be for the majors. I would have just bid six hearts myself. So, and then if you had, say, the king of hearts and I had the queen, you could Q-bid six hearts, and now I would be able to bid seven spades. See, that would work really well. On the actual hand, when the opener holds the ace king of hearts, it's probably not very realistic that he'll ever get a heart Q-bid from his partner, so it's not going to help him out so much. But it's a rare little situation, and I think it's a good idea. Basically, you're incredibly distributional, basically single suited, and you don't have so much high card that you fear the hand may pass out. I really believe you're better off opening that one of a suit, because you can always make slam tries later, and if you start by getting the suit in rather than starting with two clubs. So, okay, well, I'm Right Side Clyde, and I'll see you guys next time.